The story begins with an old woman. Her name is Traudl. Traudl knows everything about Hitler because she used to be his secretary. Now the story moves into a flashback. It is the year 1942 when Hitler made Traudl his secretary. At that time, World War II had already started. A few years later, we see the city of Berlin, the capital of Germany. Berlin was once a beautiful city, but now it's full of destruction. Buildings are broken and smoke fills the air. Continuous firing and bombing have made life extremely difficult. The enemy army is just a few kilometers away. They can enter the city at any time. All government offices begin burning documents to protect information. People in the city also start leaving in fear. Meanwhile, it's Hitler's 56th birthday. Many important officers and generals visit him. One officer advises Hitler to leave Berlin and use politics to save himself. But Hitler replies, "I'm not leaving Berlin. If you want to play politics, do it after I'm dead." Then Hitler leaves the room and goes to see his architect. There, he looks at a new model of Berlin. Hitler dreams of turning Berlin into the world's most beautiful city. He says, "Once we win the war, we'll remove the old buildings and build this new Berlin exactly like this model." But everyone close to Hitler knows the war is already lost. They again suggest that he should leave Berlin. But Hitler clearly says no. He says, "If this is really the end, then I will face it here, in this city." On the streets of Berlin, people are seen running away. They have lost hope in Germany. But some young boys and even small children, just 10 or 12 years old, they don't want to leave. They want to fight and defend their city. One child's father says, "Even powerful armies can't stop them. How can we fight them?" Our 10-year-old daughter used her own hands to set a bomb. The son believes Hitler will still win. He goes to the army office and asks, "How can we win this war? How can we protect our city?" But deep inside, everyone knows winning is impossible now. An officer says, "When the Russian and American armies come, we'll fight until our last breath." But the city has 3 million people, children, old people, and many who are wounded. Hitler says, "Only soldiers matter in war. We don't care about anyone else. No emotions, no mercy. We must destroy everything so the enemy gets nothing." Even now, Hitler doesn't stop. He calls his officers and orders, "Shut down all German services. No food, no water, no electricity, no transport." He thinks this will stop the American and Russian armies from entering. But someone warns, "Our own people will suffer too. They might die." Hitler replies, "They were never part of the war, so they don't deserve to live anyway." But now everyone understands. The Russians and Americans cannot be stopped. They enter Berlin and keep killing Hitler's soldiers. Hitler holds another meeting. He says, "We must fight them. I've ordered Steiner to attack," but someone informs him Steiner refused. He doesn't want his soldiers to die. Hitler gets extremely angry. He says, "I had no military training, but I still captured all of Europe. Where were you all? You betrayed me. I will not lead anymore. This war is lost. And if you think I'll leave Berlin, you're wrong. I'll never leave this city." But even his closest people no longer want to stay with him. Still, two assistants and his secretary decide they will stay with Hitler, even if it means dying with him. We now see a woman named Sabi living in Hitler's bunker too. Hitler and others stay underground because outside they're surrounded. Bombs are falling from every direction. Some people are shown living in the bunker with their wives and children. One man sits with his girlfriend and a young girl in a room. He shares his feelings with them. He explains how he wants to end his life. The girl says, "I want to look beautiful even after I die." Another person says, "After taking this poison, death comes easily." In another room, the secretary asks Hitler for something. Hitler gives her cyanide and says, "This is the best gift I can give you now." Then Hitler burns all his important papers. We see Hitler's girlfriend, Saber, writing a letter to her sister. She writes, Our lives could end at any moment. I'm sending you a necklace that Hitler gave me. Everyone now knows they've lost the war and could die soon. Hitler receives a letter from a man named Harman. Harman writes, "Soon I'll take full power because Hitler can't lead anymore." He adds, "If I don't get a message from Hitler by 10 a.m., I'll take it as his approval." Hitler becomes furious. He says, "He's a traitor. Remove him from his post. I order that he be killed too." Now Hitler is not the same man. His hands shake badly. His mind is not stable anymore. He tells his Air Force to attack the Russians from every side. But the truth is, Hitler's Air Force is already gone. He has no power left. He is told that in just 2 or 3 days, the Russians and Americans will reach him. Hitler gathers his top officers. He says, "We must attack again." But nobody answers him, because they know the army is finished. The ones left are wounded or just children. They can't fight the Americans or Russians. Hitler now understands. This is the end. He tells an officer he and his girlfriend will soon end their lives. But after we die, I don't want our bodies to fall into enemy hands. You must burn our bodies after we are dead. The officer doesn't want to follow this order. He can't stop the girl, and he can't say no either. Hitler meets his doctor and tells him how he plans to die. The doctor says, "Your hands shake a lot. If you try to shoot yourself, you might miss and just get hurt. So first eat the cyanide, then shoot yourself immediately. This way, your death will be 100% sure." Hitler had told the doctor he does not want to survive under any condition. So the doctor gives this advice. Then Hitler goes to his favorite dog, Blondie. He gives Blondie poison too because he doesn't want the dog to live without him. Then Hitler sits for dinner with his closest people. But he can't even eat. He gets up from the table early. The Hitler who once roared like a lion now can't even walk properly. Before leaving, he says, "Everything is finished. The time has come." He goes and meets all his loved ones one last time. Then, with his girlfriend, whom he just married, now his wife. He enters the room. Everyone outside knows this is Hitler's final night. They are all waiting in silence. Suddenly, they hear a gunshot. Everyone understands. Hitler is dead. Hitler and his wife Eva are wrapped in blankets. Their bodies are taken up to the ground. They are placed in a hole and burned. This is exactly how Hitler had wanted it. His soldiers give him a final goodbye. After that, some senior German officers go to the Soviet army. They want to surrender, but with a few conditions. The Soviets reject the terms, so the war still doesn't stop. One of Hitler's closest men, Joseph, is still inside the bunker with his wife and 6 kids. He refuses to escape. He says, "Hitler didn't surrender, so I won't betray him either." But the officers tell him, "The war is over. We've lost. We can never defeat the Russians or Americans." Now even Joseph realizes they're right. That night, Joseph's wife kills all 6 of their children. Then Joseph and his wife come out of the room. He ends his wife's life and then his own. Some people still left in the bunker try to run away and save themselves. But some army officers loyal to Hitler don't want to be caught alive. So they take their own lives. Outside, the city is completely destroyed. Soviet soldiers have reached every corner. They are searching for Hitler's close people. They capture many of them. But Hitler's secretary, Traudl, manages to escape. She walks past the Soviet soldiers without being caught. In the end, we see her riding a bicycle with a child, leaving Berlin behind. Hitler was a cruel man with no humanity at all. Because of him, 5 crore people lost their lives. Even though Hitler killed himself, the pain he caused was too big for death to be a real punishment. On May 7, 1945, Germany officially surrendered. That means World War II was over. Now the story returns to the present. Hitler's old secretary, now an aged woman, her name is Traudl. Even today, she still feels the pain of the war. She says, "Millions died. 60 lakh Jews were killed in concentration camps for no reason." She says she can never forget these things. And with that, this story comes to an end. This was the true story of Hitler's final days. A film was made on this in 2004. The name of the film is Downfall. It had a budget of $15 million and earned $93 million at the box office. We hope you liked this story.